Alright, we're looking at the 3-view hollow block here. We're going to start off by drawing the front views, so I'm going to hit a line and come across at 4 enter. I'm going to go straight up in the air at 2.5. I'm going to come over at 3/4. I'm going to come up at 2.5. Over at 3/4. Now I want to draw an angle of 45. Now you can see that on the screen that it does say 45-degree angle there, but the best way to do it is to hold the shift button down and hit the comma button, which is the greater than sign that you see showing up right there. So it says greater than, but basically telling the computer we're going to go at an angle of. This one is going to be negative 45 to go that direction. Now wherever I put my mouse, it's going to go to 45-degree angle like our triangles did. This one is going to be a shift comma 45 enter. And again, I would not try to go to the exact spot, because you see the green snap at the bottom of the other line will snap there. So just pull it past, click, and then we can trim out. What we got going on here. So there's the front view. Top view. All we're going to do is pull our lines up. Doesn't make a difference really how far we go. Just kind of go to the top of the screen there. I'm going to use the copy button. I haven't done the copy, so we're going to go copy. I want to copy this. Right click. I want to copy it from here to there. There. Alright. We've got spacing between the views, right? So there's typically like 1 inch of space or so between there, and we're trying to leave some space in there for some dimensions. So it really doesn't make a difference how much room we have, as long as we leave ourselves enough. So I'm just going to draw, again, this horizontal line is like the bottom of the top view. If we come over here, it says that our piece is 1.5 thick. So I would use the offset command. It says how thick you want to go. I'm going to go 1.5 enter. Left click on the line, go above it, left click. There is my top view. I'll go trim, select everything, right click, left click and drag a box, maybe. There's my top view. Now, in order to get my right side view, a lot of people just want to start drawing over there, but that's not what we want to do. We got to draw a 45-degree angle line off of this upper right hand corner, or in some drawings that is the hypothetical upper left hand corner. Again, we could use that 45-degree angle thing right there. Sometimes it gets off a little bit, so I would prefer to go shift comma again. And see, I did the shift comma and the greater than sign did not show up, so I'm going to do it again. There we are. 45 enter. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my features from my top view to the 45 and down. And I'll do the same thing. And right click repeat line. And click and go over. If it's not snapping directly onto the line like what it's doing right now for me, just make sure that you have your polar tracking on down here at the bottom. If that button is hit, it'll snap to where you want it to snap at. Alright, I'm going to erase the top 2 lines up here because we don't need them. I will trim out around this rectangle. very laggy for me when I'm making the video. Alright, now there's two things left. We got a dimension at 1, but we also have to, we can come back and erase that 45 now. We got to put a hidden line in there. When I look at this piece from the right side view, you got to show that there's a gap in here. So instead of hitting trim this time, I'm just going to select the line. I can left click on this blue gripper right there and I can pull it to where I want to go. It is another way to trim. Right click, deselect all. But this is not correct. This needs to be a hidden line. So we come up here to the properties box. The top one is the color. I like to make it red. And then we got to make it a dashed hidden line as well. So it's the bottom line here. Well, we only have a continuous line loaded. We need it to be a hidden line. So I got to go to Other, Load. Do not use one of these here. Find the word hidden in alphabetical order. I like to use the middle one because I know that it works. Now I got a hidden line loaded. So now when I select that line, I can come up here to the properties and say hidden, and it will automatically make that hidden. Now lastly, I need to dimension the drawing. So I'm going to go up to annotate. No, I'm not. Let me maximize this thing. It's right here, the linear button. So if I hit this down arrow, I've got angles, I've got radiuses, diameters. 95% of the time we're in linear. There are 3 dimensions that have to be on every single drawing. Click, click, pull it out. There's my height. I need my width. And I need my length. Basically the X, Y, and Z axis here. Those 3 dimensions have got to be on every single drawing. And again, only one time. If it's 4 inches here, it's 4 inches down here, and it's also 4 inches here. Well, if it's 2.5 tall, we know it's 2.5 tall over here as well. So we only need it once. If it's 1.5 here, it's 1.5 here, it's 1.5 here and here. So one time only. So now we need the rest of the dimensions. And when I look at this top view, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So I got to dimension 1 less 3 of the 4. So I got to go click, click, do a 3/4. I'm going to go click, click, 3/4. Now some people don't like that the 0.75 is out of the part. So you could left click on it, and again the blue grippers come in there. I can left click and I can drag that inside of my dimension. Again, my computer is very laggy. There's a way to get that little 0.00 off there too if that annoys you, but we're not going to talk about that at the moment. So I got those 2 dimensions, and I need to know what angle this is. So I'm going to come up here to my linear. I'm going to go down to my angular. And then if I go left click on the angled line down here, and I left click on this line over here, there's my 90 degree. This drawing is now completed.